Israeli attacks on Lebanon have killed or injured more than 4 children on average per day in the first 25 days of the ceasefire that came into effect last month, according to the global charity Save the Children. The report published on Tuesday cited figures from Lebanon's health ministry, saying at least 22 children have been killed and 89 injured since the temporary ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel came into effect on April 16.
And the Pentagon has released a new price tag for the US-Israel war with Iran, saying it has cost the United States $29 BN. The department's comptroller revealed the new total during a Senate committee hearing on Tuesday alongside Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth. And Kuwait has arrested 4 men it accuses of being members of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, after they allegedly tried to infiltrate Bubiyan Island by sea and injured a Kuwaiti soldier. And the Ministry of Interior said in a statement published on X on Tuesday that the operation took place on May 1 and the naval officers arrested aboard a fishing boat specially chartered to carry out hostile actions against Kuwait admitted they had been tasked by the IRGC with infiltrating.
That. Beirut, Lebanon, Israel's war has created a lost generation of Lebanese students, widening societal disparities and in turn damaging national unity, experts have told Al Jazeera. That. Israel has destroyed schools across southern Lebanon and displaced hundreds of thousands of students. Hundreds of educational institutions have turned into makeshift shelters for thousands of displaced people. That, causing a compounding series of disruptions to an education system that was already struggling as a result of a debilitating economic crisis.
And the United States Department of Defense has released 162 files on unidentified flying objects, UFOs, following an order from US President Donald Trump. The files included documents from the FBI, NASA, and the US Department of State. As conspiracy theories soar all over the internet, what's really in the files and how significant is the release? In this episode, and Google on Tuesday unveiled a new Create My Widget feature for Android that allows users to vibe code their own custom widgets. The feature will first launch on the latest Samsung Galaxy and Google Pixel phones this summer. To create a widget, users will be able to describe what they want using natural language. For example, you could ask the feature to suggest 3 high-protein meal prep recipes every week in order to get a custom dashboard that you can add and resize on your home screen.
That. Google on Tuesday unveiled Google Books, its new line of laptops built around Gemini, Google's flagship family of AI models. The tech giant is working with partners like Acer, Asus, Dell, HP and Lenovo to make the first Google Books in a variety of shapes and sizes. The company says Google Books, set to launch this fall, are the first laptops designed from the ground up around Gemini to offer personal and proactive help.
And an anti-doom scrolling feature is now built into Android. Yes, things have gotten that bad. On Tuesday, Google announced Pause Point, which is designed to keep users from engaging with addictive apps on Android, the mobile operating system that powers Google's Pixel smartphones, Samsung devices, and others. And Anthropic announced Tuesday that it is launching a host of new chatbot features designed to provide automated assistance to law firms. And the new features expand Claude for Legal, the law-focused offering that launched earlier this year, offering users a new set of legal plugins and MCP connectors designed for specific areas of law. And the new tools come amid hot competition in the legal AI space. In March, the AI law startup Harvey, which uses agentic AI to automate legal workflows, raised $200 million at a valuation of $11 billion. Last month, a rival startup, Legora, raised a $600 million Series D and launched a high-profile ad campaign featuring Jude Law. And Legora offers similar services to Harvey, automated solutions built to simplify the often Byzantine law processes that have traditionally involved entire teams of humans. And at Google's virtual Android show, I/O Edition event on Tuesday, the tech giant announced a series of upcoming updates and features, including improved Gemini intelligence features, new hardware called Google Books, and other Android improvements like vibe-coded widgets, Gemini in Chrome, and new emoji. The features are arriving ahead of Google's annual developer conference this month, which will largely focus on AI as it did last year. And the Ministry of Commerce has sought cabinet approval to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Gambia to strengthen bilateral cooperation in agricultural trade, particularly rice exports. The Gambian government approached the Trading Corporation of Pakistan, TCP, to establish formal government-to-government G2G cooperation for the import of agricultural commodities.
That, Islamabad. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Tuesday discussed regional developments and peace efforts regarding the Middle East conflict with Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev. According to a statement issued by the Prime Minister's office, PMO, the two leaders held a phone call on Tuesday to discuss peace efforts in the region, while also reaffirming the bilateral ties between the two countries.
And Iran's leadership is betting it can outlast an under-pressure Donald Trump in its peace negotiations with Washington, but its defiance risks renewed military confrontation, analysts say, with a shaky ceasefire holding almost 2.5 months after the US-Israeli war against the Islamic Republic began. The US president has angrily dismissed Iran's responses to an American proposal for last legs, warning the truce is on its last legs.
That the Blue Wave, the enviable nickname given to Curaçao's national football team, will soon be surging across to North America. The tiny Caribbean island of just over 150,000 people and covering only 443 square kilometers, 171 square miles, will become the smallest country ever to compete at a FIFA World Cup when the 2026 tournament kicks off on June 11.
And Hyundai Nishat Motors has officially introduced the new special edition of the Hyundai Elantra 1.6L in Pakistan with several upgraded comfort and convenience features. According to the company, the Elantra 1.6L special edition includes push-start functionality, multiple driving modes including normal, eco, sport and smart, along with cruise control and wireless charging.
That, Islamabad. As international funding to Pakistan's health sector continues to decline and major foreign donors are set to completely suspend grants by 2030, the country faces serious health risks unless urgent steps are taken by the government. That it emerged on Tuesday. These are the findings of a report published last week titled Beyond Dependence, Understanding the Impact of ODA Cuts on Pakistan's Health System. The report, prepared by think tank Tabad Lab, is authored by Behzad Taimur, Shahab Siddiqui and Syeda Farwa Kamar Jaffrey, and discusses the impact of declining official development assistance, ODA, on Pakistan.
And Islamabad. And the Pakistan Medical and Dental Council, PMDC, on Tuesday announced that students intending to pursue medical or dental education abroad must qualify for the Medical and Dental College admission test, MDCA, and obtain registration before going abroad. And according to a statement, the PMDC informed that a high-level committee chaired by Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar is currently overseeing the strengthening of the regulatory framework for medical and dental education in Pakistan. And French Health Minister Stephanie Rist said on Tuesday that it was not certain whether the hantavirus strain involved in the outbreak on the MV Hondius cruise ship may have mutated, although officials were rather reassured. There are things we do not know about this virus, Rist told the National Assembly. We do not yet have the complete sequencing of the virus, which allows us to say with certainty today, even if we are rather reassured to date, that this virus has not yet mutated.
That European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has proposed a social media delay for children in Europe and has said new legislation could be put forward in months. She told an EU summit in Copenhagen that an expert panel was due to come up with steps on how to protect minors online by July.
and US President Donald Trump is set to arrive in Beijing on Wednesday for a two-day summit with China's President Xi Jinping, marking the two leaders' first face-to-face talks 6 months after reaching a trade war truce. The summit, which was delayed from March because of the US-Israeli war on Iran, comes as Trump needs a foreign policy win amid dissatisfaction at home over the latest Middle East quagmire. And pace bowler Naheed Rana has claimed 5 wickets as Bangladesh have trumped Pakistan by 104 runs in a rain-hit first test after a thrilling 5th day of batting collapses, chasing 268 for victory in Dhaka. Pakistan were 119-3 before they fell to 163 all out in the final session on Tuesday, with debutant Abdullah Fazal scoring a valiant 66. And Spanish football star Lamine Yamal has been hailed as a very brave boy for waving the Palestinian flag in Barcelona's open-top bus parade following their La Liga championship win. And the 18-year-old held and waved a large Palestine flag as the newly crowned Spanish champions interacted with the thousands of Barca fans lined up on the streets in the Catalan capital on Monday. And hours after their 2-El Clasico triumph over Real Madrid, sealed their second consecutive First Division League title.
That Waymo has issued a software update to its fleet of nearly 4,000 vehicles to help them avoid flooded roads as part of a recall announced by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, EXA, on Tuesday. But the company hasn't fully solved the problem of how its vehicles behave in these conditions. In documents released by NHTSA, the federal safety regulator says Waymo is still developing the final remedy for this recall.
And as bad actors weaponize AI to exploit software vulnerabilities at unprecedented speed, companies are increasingly recognizing the need to bolster their cybersecurity defenses. Fortunately, those very AI tools are also helping businesses fight back.
The Directorate General of Customs Valuation Karachi has revised customs values on the import of blood collection tubes from China, following a fresh valuation exercise ordered after a legal challenge to the earlier ruling. According to a new valuation ruling, the revised values apply to imports of blood collection tubes made from glass as well as PET material.
And Karachi, amid recent reports of Cambridge exam paper leaks, and students who appeared for an AS-level mathematics paper on Tuesday made fresh claims that the paper they received was identical to a solved paper they had come across on social media just a day earlier. And Cambridge International Education, CIE, part of Cambridge University Press and Assessment, offers internationally recognized exams to schools in over 160 countries. In Pakistan, and O-levels, grades 10-11, cover a broad range of subjects, while A and AS levels, grades 12-13, are more specialized and advanced, providing pathways to higher education in Pakistan and abroad.
US President Donald Trump on Tuesday announced talks with Cuba, which has been crippled by a fuel blockade in the wake of Washington's capture of key regional ally Nicolas Maduro, the former president of Venezuela. In a post on Truth Social, Trump described the communist-ruled island as a failed country, adding, "Cuba is asking for help and we are going to talk." He did not provide details.
And a powerful Hindu group from which Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party emerged claimed on Tuesday it had organized foreign visits, including to the US, and to counter perceptions that it is a paramilitary outfit involved in attacks on minority communities. The outreach by the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, or National Volunteer Organization, and came after the US Commission on International Religious Freedom said in a report in November that it has been involved in acts of extreme violence and intolerance against members of minority groups for decades. And the Mexican government has cancelled plans to end the school year more than a month early to ease traffic during the FIFA World Cup and an anticipated heat wave. Mexico is due to co-host the football tournament with the United States and Canada from the 11th of June to 19th July.